Use dog shit to hold your bottle rockets in place. Be a man.
Y'all been sleeping on my quill game. Just dropped 40 pages of straight gas and the colonies ain't ready, no cap. Also, I want to just shout out to my bae, Maria. I love you.
Yo, it's your boy William. We chilling at the Boston Harbor. About to yeet this weak-ass tea in the sea. Taxation? Nah, fam. Vibes? Immaculate.
The British out here acting sus. I just bounced from the crib. Low-key gotta warn the boys, the British are coming.
Just arrived in the colonies because there was some bitching over a tiny 3% tax. Not that big a deal, but whatever, this shit'll be easy.
Yo, it's your boy, Tommy J. Just dropped the hottest breakup letter in history. Just need all the boys to sign. King George finna be pressed as fuck. If they fire first, it's on God. This finna go global.
What the actual fuck? Where the hell are they? Unless they're lined up 10 feet in front of me wearing bright blue uniforms, I can't see them. These guys are such assholes. What kind of a dickhead doesn't line up in a straight line and patiently take turns shooting one another?
What's up? It's General Dub. About to slide into Trenton with the boys. Redcoats ain't ready and don't want this smoke. Freedom's about to go viral.
These colonials are worse than gonorrhea. They hide behind trees and pick us off while we pass through single file wearing bright red. And you would know, Corporal, even though we're the superpower of the world, we still don't know how to counter this ingenious tactic of hiding behind trees. Okay, this is our last stand. We may have a chance if we just... Nope. Shit. Never mind, those ass-smelling French are here.
It's time for our litter to be born.
Hey Donald, why do these kittens look like Jeffrey Epstein?
Just a sick world we're living in, sick people.
This one, we do have to bring you our vote because you have been voting in the text and online vote today. So here is the result. Is multiculturalism working? Here is what you told us. 5% of those of you who voted said yes, it is. 95% of those of you who voted this morning said no, it isn't.
Well, no shit.
Hey girl, if you're looking for a man that can treat you right and cuddle you and spoil you, you've come to the wrong place. I'll beat the fuck out.
What are you doing later? Want to go to dinner?
Sorry, I don't do dinner.
You don't do dinner?
No, I don't.
Why?
Because I have a boyfriend.
That's too bad. I don't usually ask twice, but yeah, it's my tank.
Well, there's a bar down the road.
There's a what?
A bar down the road if you want to get a drink.
Oh, so now you're interested.
I like tanks.
Well, no tanks. That's your car.
Yeah, that's my car.
Ah!
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, you know, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but if release the names, right?
And I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion of this. Do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on? Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you if it existed?
Yes!
You don't have to go to hell. You're in hell. This is hell. This is hell. This is hell.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
Then strangled them, and finally dismembered their bodies. bright,
Then do
available.
But homelessness and all that.
And now, the voice you've been waiting for.
There is a secret song at the center of the world, and its sound is like razors through flesh. I'm here to turn up the volume.
Dude, there's one guy I really want to punch in the face, and his name is Bert Spartan.
I've been thinking a lot lately about the parallels between AI and, well, the internet at large. Both were developed by the research and development arm of the military-industrial complex long before they were ever doled out to the public, and while the internet offered new levels of efficiency, networking, on top of access to information, for most people it just became an amusement, scrolling through your social media feeds, watching endless videos of cats doing funny things. And it's like that with AI too. AI is capable of being a very helpful tool, able to take vast amounts of information and break it down into something digestible by a person, or you can use it to make cheap amusements, pictures, videos, songs, and I find a lot of them to be amusing as well. But when I think about how far the technology has come and how quickly it's happened, it was just 2 years ago that there was that AI-generated video of Will Smith eating that bowl of spaghetti that everybody got a really good kick out of. It was so cartoonish and silly, and now we're already to the point where a lot of the stuff that AI can generate would fool a lot of people. How long is it going to be before the AI-generated stuff could fool anyone? There's been a multitude of stories, especially in the past year or two, highlighting just how scary and creepy this AI technology is getting. So as I'm doing this deeper dive into it, if any of you have any good stories that you want to leave a link for, please drop it down in the comments.
Oh, shit.
What?
I've got a macaroni alert.
A what?
Zoltar.
Oh, right, the spoiled little bitch commie.
Now you're just being redundant.
Is this about him looking like a retard eating a bowl of rice with his hands?
He said he was black on his college application.
No way. Holy shit.
If he's black, then I'm a fucking Keebler elf.
Sadly, it's really not going to affect him at all, I think. What with all the other identity shenanigans they've been pulling in recent years. I did see this article by PolitiFact. It's a pretty entertaining read if you need a good laugh. There was that video going around of him talking about seizing the means of production as the end goal, and they decided to do a little fact check. And I gotta hand it to the guy that wrote this shit. The way he dances around this and manages to conclude that it's false that this kid's a communist, it's enough to teach a masterclass on spin and lying by omission. Admittedly, he did use the phrase seizing the means of production, but we're just not sure what he means. And there's nothing about that written in his mayoral platform.
Well, no fucking shit.
So you're saying a sneaky commie isn't openly telling us he's a sneaky commie? And he's more open and candid when he's talking to his fellow travelers than what he puts out for public consumption? Oh, I never heard of such a thing. And I'm reminded of one of my favorite Founding Fathers quotes. Educate and inform the whole mass of the people. They are the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty.
Fucking A.
Now, the rise of popularity in recent years when it comes to the tenets of socialism and even communism would be attributed by many people to things like academia, media, but I also think it's a lack of foundational knowledge that leaves the grounds fertile enough for the seeds of stupidity to sprout. I was going to school at the end of the Cold War, and as part of my primary education, I learned much more about Greek mythology than I ever did anything having to do with communism, how it's supposed to operate versus how it operates. It was just, communism's bad, and so we're not even really going to talk about it other than say it's a bad thing. So then when these kids graduate and they head off to university, all of a sudden they've got people showing what a wonderful utopia we could have. And the fact that these kids grew up with nobody even really wanting to talk about socialism makes it seem like some kind of wonderful hip thing that's been hidden from them. And while I may not be able to prove that at a certain level all of this was done on purpose, well, neither can you prove to me that it wasn't. Okay, what else do we have on the docket, Bob?
How about that gay guy?
Which one?
The kid fucker.
Bob.
Allegedly!
That's better. So yeah, the diddler got acquitted of his most serious charges, although the 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution that he was found guilty of carry possible sentences of 10 years each. I think it's highly unlikely that this judge is going to throw the book at him. And was this result a surprise to me at all?
Absolutely fucking not.
As soon as I found out that Maureen Comey was going to be prosecuting this, I knew it was going to be a whitewash. And this is the same prosecutor that handled the Epstein case, that handled the Ghislaine Maxwell case. She's in there to do damage control for the government, because much like it's widely fucking believed that the Epstein case was more about compromise and blackmail than it was about some guy just getting his rocks off with fucking kids, a lot of people believe that Diddy was the same thing but for the entertainment industry. And so do I, for that matter. You don't have to be particularly brilliant to leave a dead man switch. And in fact, you'd have to be a complete fucking retard to not do that after seeing what had happened to Epstein. But there were so many civil cases coming against him that the government had to make it look like they still give a shit about justice. So they do this little trial, extremely limited in scope. And now the talk from a lot of people is that it's very likely that this is going to get overturned on appeal. And I'm sure that's totally by accident.
Right?
Right.
Right.
As if I didn't have enough reasons to distrust Pam Bondi. When Comey got fired, they replaced him with Christopher Wray, arguably just as big a shitbag. And at that time, Bill Barr was Attorney General. But now they're supposedly cleaning things up, right? There is no way that somebody hasn't pulled Pam Bondi aside and said, listen, sweet cheeks, if you don't think the daughter of Comey being in charge of all these high-profile prosecutions for the Southern District of New York is a problem, then you're even further out of your fucking depth than we initially thought. Either that or she's also somehow compromised. And I don't even care which it is. Because either way, she is not the right person for this job. And there's a lot of dum-dums out there still expecting that somebody, anybody from this client list is going to get exposed and prosecuted. But if you pay attention to what she actually said right after that press conference and on the O'Keefe Media hidden camera, she only said there was videos of Epstein raping children. She chose her words very carefully. And then there was also the admission last week by the CIA that, oh yeah, you remember that Russia collusion hoax? Well, it turns out people at the highest levels were deeply involved in that. Former CIA Director John Brennan, Comey, Director of National Intelligence Clapper, who was also the head of the NSA before that, and the CIA is admitting that they were engaged in what amounts to a quiet coup. But do you think we're going to see any kind of action as a result of this? Here we are now, 6 months into it, and you've got all these people wanting to tout all these accomplishments. But by my count, we haven't accomplished shit. Not really. We haven't seen anything done that couldn't be just as quickly undone. And that goes for this big, beautiful bill as well as the executive orders. For all the bad shit that was in there was a lot of good things. Massively increasing the budget for ICE, codifying a school voucher program, which, for as much shit as I gave Ted Cruz a couple weeks ago, I'll give credit where it's due. He was the one who stood up and argued against it when they tried to pull that out.
School choice is the civil rights issue of the 21st century. Every child, regardless of race or wealth or ethnicity, deserves access to an excellent education. This tax credit provision will unleash billions of dollars every single year for scholarships for kids to attend the K-12 school of their choice. Sadly, every Democrat in this body will oppose these scholarships because they're more beholden to teacher union bosses than they are dedicated to fighting for kids.
And then there was the part about suppressors. People were trying to do away with the hoops and hurdles you need to jump through just to have one, but then it got unilaterally removed at the last minute by the Senate parliamentarian.
He's an asshole.
An asshat in an unelected position that was appointed by Harry fucking Reid. And Thune could fire and replace this asshole at the drop of a hat, but he hasn't. And on a side note, Brandon Herrera did a video about this subject, and this could actually set up to be an interesting battle in the courts because the original challenge to the NFA that went up to the Supreme Court was shot down under the pretense that this was just a tax, and that this is what made them able to unduly restrict things like suppressors. But here's the thing, the parliamentarian didn't completely remove the restrictions on suppressors, they just removed the tax portion so now you don't have to pay the hundreds of dollars. But if the Supreme Court had already decided that the only reason this was legal is because it's just a tax, well, if the tax goes away...
Think about it.
And then there's all this talk of, oh my god, all these people are gonna lose their Medicaid coverage. 11 million, 11.8 million. Now I'm even seeing some estimates between 12 and 20 million. And when you actually go and read these articles, they're very sparse on the details. I do love this though. The legislation would result in 11.8 million losing insurance by 2034. And why would they be losing it? Well, for a lot of them, it's because they're illegals. And then there's also the added work requirement where if you're not on disability, then to continue getting Medicaid, you need to be working 20 hours a week.
Oh my God, what a fucking nightmare!
And I've been seeing these little TikTok-style videos pop up of people saying that, oh, now I just lost my coverage, and yeah, the bill literally just got fucking signed. You wouldn't have even found out yet. Plus, some of these people are saying that they're on disability too, which... Are you sure that you're gonna be losing your shit? Or is that just what you read in the headline of some article somewhere? And then there's the videos of people whining about the other ways that their gravy train is getting derailed.
I am allergic to work. I can't work. I refuse to work.
Fuck you.
Fucking allergic to work. That's great. I happen to be allergic to giving the slightest fuck about people who were allergic to work.
The whole reason I had kids was the amount of government benefits that you get for one child.
In the quiet words of the Virgin Mary, come again.
Now I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that her purpose for doing this little video is to make people be angry at the government and feel sorry for her. But then you actually say out loud that the only reason that you had children was because of the free money the government was gonna give you. Oh, but now that's going away and I'm allergic to work. Yeah, take a fucking Benadryl, put on your big girl panties and suck it up. But as I said before, none of this really matters anyway. All the cuts in this bill can be uncut. The things that have been defunded can get undone. This is do or die. If you don't completely dismantle the whole system of corruption and lies, then we're all fucked. And for as much as I shit on Pam Bondi, I'm even more pissed off at Bongino and Patel. And maybe that's partly because I'm mad at myself for being wrong when I believed that those two weren't total pussies. Oh, they talked all that shit and then they got in there and what they do, threaten your families? Nobody could have saw that coming. So for all these people bending over backwards to try to say, oh, I still have a lot of respect for Kash Patel and Bongino, I can't for the life of me understand why. Two guys that have been talking all this shit for years and get put into a position to do something about it, and now they expect me to believe that, oh, there was nothing there after all and everything was above board.
That's garbage.
Oh, what, did you have somebody pull you aside and say that exposing all this compromise would cause a complete collapse of trust in institutions and maybe bring down the whole government? That's the same bullshit line that's allowed them to get away with nobody getting in trouble for these revelations. From COINTELPRO to MKUltra, nobody ever got in trouble. Oh, but I'm sure the corruption just fixed itself.
I don't think so.
And I'm gonna leave it right there. There won't be a video next week because I'm gonna be out of town. But then I'll be back and hopefully with some less depressing fucking shit to report. Sláinte.
All I have in this world is my thoughts and my words. And I don't break them for no one. You understand? So say good night to the bad guy. 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 Come on. now.